presenting Nia Jax. And ladies and gentlemen, it is Tiffany time.
Hey guys, we are soon going to talk about what is the con of when you are the champion on the losing end of the Crown Jewel Championship match. Let's tune in more to the Pink Square Circle and let's talk about it. Hey guys, we soon gonna talk about WWE Women's Crown Jewel loser facts. Now, what we're gonna talk about today is the women that are in the championship match for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship match every year, started from 2024. How whoever loses that match, they end up becoming bad luck for them. And it starts off as follows. If you guys remember, when we had the Crown Jewel back in 2024. We had Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, the inaugural Crown Jewel Championship. Nia Jax, did her thing. She won the Queen of the Ring, and Liv Morgan was on a great heel run with the Judgment Day and everything. But the thing about it is, when it comes down to that, it's like the winner of that match continues to go on. They look strong, but the winner does not look so much. Now, Nia Jax, she won the WWE Queen of the Ring 2024. She won that. Then she eventually went to SummerSlam against Bayley to win the WWE Women's Championship. However, when she won this stuff, it was good. But the thing about it is, WWE, they do not want you to be too strong, whether you're a heel or a face. They don't want you to win every single thing, every accolade. So Nia Jax, that was great. She won Queen of the Ring, and then she won the WWE Women's Championship after. But when all that stuff happened, she ended up losing the WWE Women's Crown Jewel Championship, the inaugural match, the match that eventually went to Liv Morgan, and she won that. Now, Nia Jax, even though she lost, she still kept her championship and everything else of that matter. But when the Crown Jewel Championship, when the loser loses that match, they are going to eventually lose their championship. And that's what I mean with Nia Jax. Like I said, she looked like she could have been the odds-on favorite to even win this match. But we know Liv Morgan was also being pushed heavy too. And we saw that as soon as we saw Liv Morgan, she was on time of her year in 2024 winning the Crown Jewel Championship. We knew that with her. But somebody got to lose when it comes to that. And Liv had momentum going into Survivor Series, War Games, and Royal Rumble, everything, in the beginning of the year. Now, I know Liv Morgan lost in January 6th of this year. But Nia Jax, if you guys remember, 2 months later, barely 2 months, she was going to lose the WWE Women's Championship to Tiffany Stratton, who cashed in her Money in the Bank contract on her on the January 3rd episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And we saw that because Tiffany Stratton, we will get into next. She's another one. Now, Tiffany Stratton, she was on a great roll. When she first came to the main roster, she had a great Elimination Chamber, great everything, great matches, great aura from the crowd. Now, her biggest crowning moment before winning the WWE Women's Championship, before she won the title, her biggest moment was winning the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. When she won that, she had a customized one, pink lemonade pretty much, Tiffany time of her character. Now, Tiffany, she did great. Now, shortly after she won that, she held on to it. She had a great storyline with Nia Jax, and she will go on to cash in that Money in the Bank contract on Nia Jax on that episode of SmackDown that I just mentioned to become the WWE Women's Champion that she currently holds at the time of this video at reportedly 300 days. One of the longest reigning WWE Women's Champion probably since Bianca Belair back in 2022 when she won the then Raw Women's Championship. But the thing about Tiffany Stratton, she has an upcoming match at Saturday night's main event defending the WWE Women's Championship against a recently heel-turned Jade Cargill. And I have to tell you, the chances do not look good for Tiffany Stratton. I see Tiffany Stratton losing that championship because she lost the WWE Women's Crown Jewel Championship against Stephanie Valker. That is the con to her. She lost that particular match, And Stephanie, who's on a roll, just won the WWE Women's World Championship, excuse me. It had to be someone on the losing end. That was Tiffany Stratton. Now, don't get me wrong. Tiffany Stratton was on an undefeated streak all year in 2025, up until losing to Stephanie Walker at the Crown Jewel event. But what I'm saying is, Tiffany Stratton had just won the Women's Money in the Bank contract maybe the year before, back in last year's Money in the Bank event, which was, I believe, July 2024. What WWE is doing, guys, is if someone leading into the Crown Jewel match is always the Queen of the Ring winner, or is someone who just had an accolade before Crown Jewel that's in the championship match, they end up losing. Last year, Nia Jax, she lost because she just won the Queen of the Ring. This year is Tiffany Stratton because she just had the Money in the Bank contract and just cashed in to become WWE Women's Champion. So that's what I'm saying. The whole thing about this is, if we're going to have this annual Crown Jewel Championship match every single year for the men's and women's divisions, I don't think there should be a King and Queen of the Ring tournament to determine if they're going to get a championship match at SummerSlam. They shouldn't even do that, because it's too many contenderships for a title. We have the Royal Rumble, granted. We have Elimination Chamber, granted, title shot. Then we have Money in the Bank, granted. And now we have King and Queen of the Ring. When you do all these events like that, guys, anytime you have these PLEs where you need a tournament, a namesake tournament, or anything of sort to crown a new number one contender for either championship men and women's divisions, it's going to be too much. And that's 4 number one contenderships in 1 year, 4 opportunities for the men and women to become a number one contender for a championship, whether it's the Women's Championship or WWE Women's Championship, as well as the Men's Championships. And I believe with Crown Jewel, a title that's only seen once a year at Crown Jewel, someone has to lose, and more likely it's going to be the person that won the King or Queen of the Ring tournament, or who just won the Money in the Bank contract, because WWE don't want you to look too strong winning everything. And I believe, with that being said, not only do they lose that match because they just had an accolade before, they're going to eventually lose their championship. Nia Jax lost the championship within 2 months after losing the Crown Jewel Championship match last year in 2024. This year it's going to be Tiffany Stratton, who lost the Crown Jewel Championship match, and may even lose it not even barely a month later at Saturday night's main event against Jade Cargill. Now, if there's a chance that Tiffany Stratton does retain the championship, I still don't see her holding it to it too much longer. But I will say Jade is the odds-on favorite to win, and I'll be very surprised Jade, who just turned heel, will go on to lose another WWE Women's Championship match against Tiffany Stratton. I mean, these women have faced off against each other several times already, whether Tiffany won or in a DQ or no contest, whatever the case may be. That's not going to happen this time at Saturday night's main event, November 1st. I think Tiffany's going to lose her championship, and it all falls back to the result of losing the Women's Crown Jewel Championship match. So we saw it first with Nia. We're going to see the same fate with Tiffany Stratton. Mark my words, Tiffany is not going to hold that championship much longer. If she does somehow get past Jade at Saturday night's main event, she is not going to be walking to WrestleMania 42 next year, 2026, as the WWE Women's Champion. I highly doubt that's going to happen. It's just the momentum is gone. Tiffany Stratton don't have that momentum no more. It's Stephanie Walker that has momentum now. I just don't see the same vibe. And I would say WWE needs to either eliminate the Crown Jewel Championship match, eliminate that whole thing for a title. I know they're not, because it's Saudi Arabia and it's for a big truckloads of money, or get rid of the King and Ring Queen tournament. Get rid of that whole concept, because there's too many opportunities for a male or female to win a championship opportunity, especially at SummerSlam. But you know what? That's how I think of the whole thing. WWE needs change, because it makes your book is so predictable at the end of the day. And I guarantee that's what this is going to end up like. But that's all I'll have for WWE Women's Crown Jewel loser facts. You guys let me know what you think of this video. Do you agree or disagree with what I said? And also, do you see Tiffany Stratton losing at Saturday night's main event November 1st against Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship? Check out the content here at Paint Square Circle. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later.